Hello everyone. Well, as it says, I'm Rachel Side and I'm Head of Affiliate and Partner Marketing. I'm probably being a little bit cheeky here with being in an emerging platform section of this deck because, partner marketing, affiliate marketing is not a new way of doing marketing. It's probably one of the oldest ways of doing marketing, one business referring traffic to another. But it is probably one of the most unutilized, unloved channels that many brands will have. And I want to kind of talk a little bit more today about how, if you embrace the channel, if you do a bit more of it, if you think about the consumer journey, how you could potentially this year look at your affiliate marketing, look at your partners, and make much more of it, and make it much more of a key part and much more of a strategic part of your marketing mix. That works, thanks. So when I talk about partner marketing, I am today going to have a slant on affiliate marketing. It's where I work, what I do, it's my background. I've worked at Awin for 5 years. Affiliate marketing is kind of, I guess, unfortunately, probably a big part of my career. But also we have all these different areas that really sit within a brand's kind of like wider digital mix. And one of the things I always say brands that come to us and talk to us about affiliates is, they're always worried about, I could have got that sale anyway, or my PR team's doing X. And totally, and I would always say, if you can get that referral, if you can get that link without an affiliate link, without paying for it, absolutely do it, go for it. But one of the things you need to think about is affiliate marketing can help you get some of these things, and it can extend your reach, and it can help you do some of those things better. So thinking about affiliates a bit differently and thinking about the role it has in consumer journeys can really help you to maximize this channel a little bit more. It's not about taking away sales, but it's about creating more opportunities to engage with really high intent third-party sites which can refer really, really great traffic to your brand. So I recorded myself doing a little journey. I was searching for a dehumidifier. It's going to give you a little bit of a window into my life as a mum trying to dry clothes at this time of year. And then I'm highlighting all the ways that partnerships showed up in this journey. So this journey is not a bottom of the funnel journey. It's me wanting to know what the best dehumidifier is to dry clothes at this time of year. And partnerships comes up a lot when you're searching. And this really upper funnel part of the journey. So I estimated there's probably about 20 plus affiliate partner links woven into that journey through CSS, through some really great kind of editorial style content. If I scroll down further in that bar, there was some YouTube content, YouTube influencer content. So if you think about that, partnerships are already there and they're actually on those upper funnel terms, which is obviously quite the contrary to what a lot of people believe about affiliate marketing, thinking about it as that last click. And this is what people believe about affiliate marketing a lot of the time, that it's the dog on the table that's stealing that cookie or that thing at the last point or the sale at the last moment and taken away from other channels. But actually, if we think back to that search journey that I just did, partnerships are probably more than ever really interwoven in the way consumers are shopping and the way content is being surfaced. So journeys are evolving and we can see that. Affiliate marketing works on a really old model in a lot of ways, on you have to make a click and then you have to get the sale at the end of it. So this world of partnerships is evolving quickly and it is evolving fast, and it is probably more interwoven and more visible than ever. And some of the stuff we've talked about today, when I saw the announcements this week coming out about, or you can get voucher codes served to you when you're shopping by your brand, you can obviously check out without even leaving like Google. That kind of is a little bit maybe uncertain for the affiliate model, but one thing I do know about the world of affiliates is that it does evolve quite quickly and it does evolve quite fast. And great partners, we've seen a great example of this today in CSS, will adapt and they will take opportunities within this space and make it work within the affiliate model. We're already seeing some platforms make use of how they're going to track some of this activity, think about how they can reward differently. So I don't think you can write off affiliates and partnerships in this new world. I think they're going to become really more important, but I do think you need to think about doing it in the right way. So my biggest message I talk to any brand who's running affiliate activity or thinking about doing partnerships is to know your partners, know how they promote you, and know the value you can bring. I talk about and I audit loads of affiliate programs, and the amount of times that there is 80% of traffic is coming from a code site, or 80% of the sales are coming from somewhere no one actually knows where they're coming from, means that you cannot make the most of those opportunities, and you cannot make that channel grow and work for you and your brand. So when we look at affiliate programs, we do like to look at this idea of the funnel and the stages, because it doesn't work perfectly in this new world. It doesn't work in this world where the funnel doesn't really exist in the same way anymore. But actually, when we go back and look at that journey right at the start, when I was talking about partnerships being more integrated than ever, partnerships are everywhere and they're at every stage of the customer journey. The thing we just have to think about is making sure the partners we're working with and the partners we're working with at those stages, we know what they're doing, we know who their audience is, and we're engaging them really effectively. And one thing you'll probably notice, and anyone who runs probably affiliate activity with us, is that I don't focus a lot on voucher sites. So that's quite greyed out here. I'm not a massive fan of working with loads of voucher sites that you don't know what they're doing, and they're doing kind of, not great stuff, fake codes, and disrupting journeys a lot of the time. I prefer to work with these kinds of partners. And yes, I do go last click partners here, but partners that have big audiences, partners that have loyal audiences, and partners that have audiences that can really do stuff at all stages. When we looked at that example at that start of that journey, that's your editorial partners appearing on those really top of the funnel search terms. CSS activity is amazing in channel, it's fast growing, it's super efficient, and it's a really, really good partner for any brand. And you can't ignore the power of a cashback or a closed user group. But again, work with the best ones, work with the ones which align with your audience, and work with the ones you know what they're doing. And then you're going to have a much better affiliate program and a much better and growing affiliate program going into this year when creating opportunities to talk to customers is more important than ever. So I did want to give a little bit of a real world example of how we've done a little bit of this for Glux. And one of the reasons I picked Glux, I've got some great examples to talk through generally, is mainly because we integrated with a lot of their wider team. So working with their PR function, working with their teams internally to, they had a really big important campaign going live last year for the colour of the year. Typically they do that all through PR, but it slowed down. It was harder to get those PR links. It was difficult to get as much traction. And actually introducing affiliates into that mix enabled them to get some really good content. We still do it on a performance basis. A lot of it was driven by CPC content, and it enabled them to extend what they were doing in their PR. It didn't replace the PR, but it extended what they were doing and created another opportunity for us to talk to some really great editorial sites. And that's meant for this year, we're integrating with the PR team. We've got a monthly call. We've got certain publications that we're going to go after, certain publications that they own. And that's about having a really open and transparent conversation. And that would be only possible because we spoke to another team internally, and we didn't talk about us doing it instead of them, or them taking our sale or us taking their sales. We just said, you've got really good coverage here. Where are you trying to get coverage? We can help you to get coverage here through X, Y, and Z. Shall we try? And we tried, and it worked well. But it didn't mean us taking anything away from what they were doing. For me, one of the things where I feel the integration of partnerships, I can't even say that, so, will shift this year is that if I keep going back to that example at the start, but I have to keep going back to the example because often partnerships and partner marketing gets that reputation of being the dog on the table, basically. It's the dog on the table taking that last sale. But partnerships should enable you this year to create more touch points. So it might be a little bit less last click in some occasions, although I do still think some of that will be important. That bottom of the funnel, you've got those great partners there. But there'll be more of an awareness focus. And again, if I'm looking at one of these search journeys, obviously I'm really worried about drying my clothes and the wrinkles as well on my face, because I was like, do you actually using genuine things that I cared about to see if the results gave me what I wanted from what I was searching for? And again, all I can say is, if you look at this example, all of this is based on kind of solid SEO principles, like really relevant content. And the mix of content that's being served here is brand's own site content. It's content from partnerships, so like Vogue could be gained from digital PR, but also Vogue use affiliate links. And also you can pay for article inclusion in Vogue. And also they work through people like Linkbee on a CPC basis. You've also got YouTube here, own brand YouTube, and also influencers. So this space is incredibly diverse in how you can be served here. But the key thing is it's all helpful advice, it's all well-structured content, and it's all relevant. And actually, this should be one of the most important things you're kind of thinking about this year in affiliates. Not thinking about how do I do more voucher sites, but how can I think about getting in more of this kind of content, but do it in a really good way that feels that it really aligns to my brand and what my user's looking for. But this might change a little bit this year. I think there's a lot of unknowns this year in terms of how this could track and reward mechanisms, because affiliates and these editorial sites make money from that click. You know, you make a click, and at the end of the day, you check out, you make a sale, they get commission. Potentially the opportunities to do that are going to become less over this year. So it might be that when you're looking at this integration, it's, you know, PR relationships were really, really super important last year. They're probably still important, but maybe paying a bit more for some of this inclusion where these partners are creating great content, but missing out on that last click might become more important. And ultimately, that's going to lead you back down the attribution route, because affiliate people love talking about attribution because it's one of those things that causes us loads of problems. But actually, if we can show that bigger picture and show where affiliates fits in and where some of this investment fits in and increasing your opportunities and your awareness, that could make affiliates a much more interesting channel going into 2026. There's also a lot of chat from the publications themselves, so the editorial sites themselves. And it's not been a blanket of people saying, oh, it's going to kill off our sites. There's really mixed at the moment. There's people saying there's opportunity. They feel there's opportunity. They've got to go after more channels, more ways of making money, owning their audience and making their audience and their readership really valuable. And I think that's just really important, because these sites do own audiences and they do have those consumers to talk to. And as a brand, that's where you'd want to be too. You want to be talking to these partners as well. And one of the kind of final things I'm going to talk about is kind of affiliate marketing and influencers. And I've called it the truth, just because I have loads of conversation about influencer marketing all the time. And particularly in affiliates. And one of the things that's really thought about of affiliate marketing is that influencers are just going to be happy to produce content on a commission. And I think the influencer marketing model is one of the best examples of integration within a business, of how to use affiliates, how to use your in-house teams, and how to think about when and where to do it. So if I was going to be honest, you came to me and said, I want to do all my influencer marketing for affiliates, the most common way we see influencers wanting to work is direct with the brand. They don't care about an affiliate link. I'm going to be really honest, they don't care. They just want to work with a brand collaboration. They maybe want a paid placement, and they maybe want the gifting. However, you've got influencer networks like LTK for like fashion and beauty, which take that initial connection with the brand and give it a long-term value, lifetime value type thing. So it makes them want to post a bit more about you. It makes them want to keep links live of your product. That increases that relationship and it increases that opportunity for them to convert. And thirdly, you get the odd unicorn of a partner, that, an influencer that wants to work with you directly in affiliates, but it's rare, but you get the odd one. And if you get them, you really, really want to keep them happy and give them really good commissions because you know exactly what they're doing. But this just shows that affiliates touches different areas. And if you don't know how it could provide opportunity at these different stages, you can't make the most of it, but it's not going to be the solution to everything. So having those conversations is probably that priority. Yep, and I've just reinforced my point there. There is no one-size-fits-all approach here. And one thing I wanted to end on, just because I feel like it segues really well into Sam, although I don't think you're talking about this, are you? But never mind. Influencers are also really paid social creative fuel. We didn't kind of talk about that loads today, but actually, again, the idea of integration, if you've got your brand team talking to influencers, if you've got someone in your affiliate team talking to influencers, if a really great piece of content goes live and it looks brilliant, you should be talking to your paid social team as well. And because partnership crosses over in so many different areas, just making sure everyone's aware of what everyone else is doing is probably your most valuable tool and probably one of the best things you could do this year. And that's the end. That's me.